Criticism is something every person encounters at some point in life, yet very few people are taught how to handle it in a healthy and empowering way. Most individuals instinctively react to negative words by feeling hurt, defensive, or discouraged, allowing the opinions of others to influence their confidence and self-worth. However, when you understand how the mind works, criticism can become one of the most powerful tools for growth rather than a source of pain. Inspired by the teachings of Dr. Joseph Murphy, this approach begins with recognizing that words only have power if you accept them internally. According to the principles of the subconscious mind, what you repeatedly believe and emotionally agree with becomes your reality. When criticism comes your way, it is not the words themselves that cause suffering, but the meaning you assign to them. By consciously choosing not to internalize negativity, you protect your mental space and emotional balance. Instead of asking, "Why am I being attacked?" you can shift your perspective and ask, "What can I learn from this? And how can it make me stronger?" This shift alone transforms criticism from an emotional wound into useful feedback. Many successful individuals have faced harsh judgment, rejection, and ridicule before achieving greatness, yet they use those experiences as motivation rather than obstacles. The wisdom inspired by Dr. Joseph Murphy reminds us that the subconscious mind responds to calm authority, not emotional chaos. When you remain centered and confident, criticism loses its grip on you. You begin to understand that not all criticism is true, and even when it contains truth, it does not define your worth as a person. Detachment is key, listening without absorbing, observing without reacting. This mental discipline allows you to stay in control of your emotions instead of giving that control to others. Over time, this practice strengthens your inner confidence and builds emotional resilience. You realize that negativity often reflects the fears, frustrations, or limitations of the person expressing it, not your own value or potential. By maintaining a strong self-image and reaffirming positive beliefs about yourself, you train your subconscious mind to remain stable and empowered. This is not about ignoring reality or pretending criticism does not exist, but about responding with intelligence rather than emotion. When criticism no longer triggers fear or self-doubt, you unlock a new level of personal freedom. Challenges feel lighter, confidence feels natural, and growth becomes inevitable. Through this mindset, negativity loses its power, and you emerge stronger, wiser, and more self-assured, ready to move forward without hesitation or fear. Building upon this understanding, the next step is learning how to consciously retrain your response to criticism so it serves you instead of weakening you. This process begins with awareness, because awareness gives you choice. When criticism appears, pause before reacting and observe your emotional response without judgment. This moment of pause is powerful, as it interrupts old mental habits and allows you to respond with intention rather than impulse. Inspired by the philosophy of Dr. Joseph Murphy, this approach emphasizes the importance of directing the subconscious mind with clarity and calm confidence. The subconscious does not distinguish between helpful and harmful ideas. It simply accepts what is emotionally charged and repeatedly entertained. For this reason, dwelling on negative feedback without discernment can quietly shape limiting beliefs. Instead, you must become the gatekeeper of your mind, allowing in only what aligns with growth, truth, and self-respect. Criticism can then be filtered intelligently by asking whether it contains constructive insight or is merely an expression of someone else's frustration or insecurity. When feedback is useful, it can be accepted without self-blame and applied as a tool for improvement. When it is destructive or unfounded, it can be released without emotional attachment. This balanced response keeps your inner world stable and focused. Dr. Joseph Murphy taught that the self-image you hold within determines how you experience the world. When your self-image is strong, criticism does not feel like a personal attack. It feels like information passing through your awareness. You remain rooted in your sense of purpose and value, regardless of external opinions. This inner stability is developed through consistent mental conditioning, including positive affirmations, visualization, and conscious self-talk. By repeatedly affirming your confidence, competence, and worth, you override old patterns of self-doubt. Over time, your subconscious mind begins to respond automatically with calm assurance rather than emotional turbulence. This transformation does not happen overnight, but with patience and practice, it becomes natural. You start to notice that criticism no longer drains your energy or disrupts your focus. Instead, it sharpens your clarity and strengthens your resolve. You become less concerned with pleasing others and more committed to honoring your personal growth. This shift creates emotional independence, freeing you from the need for external validation. When you stop seeking approval, you gain inner authority. Negativity loses its influence because it no longer aligns with your internal beliefs. This is the true power behind thriving on criticism, not resistance, but mastery. By consciously choosing how you interpret and respond to negative input, you reclaim control over your emotional state and direction in life. As Dr. Joseph Murphy's teachings suggest, the mind follows the strongest and most consistent belief. When that belief is rooted in self-trust and purpose, criticism becomes powerless. You move forward with confidence, guided by inner wisdom rather than external noise, steadily growing stronger with every challenge you encounter. As this mindset becomes deeply rooted, you begin to experience a profound shift in how you relate to the world and to yourself. Criticism no longer feels like an obstacle standing in your way, but rather a signal that you are stepping outside comfort zones and engaging with life at a higher level. This awareness brings confidence because growth rarely occurs without resistance. Inspired by the principles taught by Dr. Joseph Murphy, you start to recognize that the subconscious mind thrives on repetition and emotional consistency. When you repeatedly respond to criticism with calm understanding instead of fear, your inner reactions are reprogrammed. What once triggered anxiety now triggers reflection and clarity. You stop seeing criticism as a verdict on your identity and instead view it as a temporary experience that has no authority over your future. This distinction is crucial because your identity should be built on inner conviction, not external opinion. Dr. Joseph Murphy emphasized that the mind must be directed with purpose, or it will be influenced by outside forces. When you take control of your mental responses, you prevent negativity from shaping your self-image. You become more grounded, less reactive, and more aligned with your goals. This inner alignment creates emotional strength that cannot be easily shaken. Even in difficult situations, you remain composed and thoughtful, responding with wisdom rather than emotion. Over time, this practice transforms your relationships, work, and personal growth. You communicate more confidently, make decisions more clearly, and trust yourself more deeply. Criticism becomes a neutral event, not a personal attack. You realize that every individual views the world through their own beliefs, experiences, and limitations, and their opinions often say more about them than about you. This understanding allows compassion to replace defensiveness. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself or prove your worth. Instead, you remain focused on your values and long-term vision. According to Dr. Joseph Murphy's teachings, the subconscious mind responds best when it is impressed with peace, confidence, and certainty. When these qualities become your natural state, external negativity fades into the background. You move forward without carrying emotional weight from past interactions. This freedom is empowering because it allows you to invest your energy where it truly matters. Challenges become opportunities for refinement, not reasons for self-doubt. You learn to trust the process of growth, knowing that resilience is built through experience. With each encounter, you strengthen your mental discipline and emotional intelligence. Eventually, you reach a point where criticism no longer defines moments in your life. It simply passes through without leaving a mark. This is not indifference, but mastery. You are fully aware, fully present, and fully in control of your inner world. By applying these principles consistently, you embody the wisdom inspired by Dr. Joseph Murphy, using the power of your mind to remain confident, focused, and unshaken. Through this understanding, negativity loses its influence, and you continue moving forward with clarity, strength, and unwavering self-belief.